contacting school employees and demanding information, demanding access to teacher evaluations, and leaking information with the press, especially from the executive session. Now, those are things you don't have the power to do. If a board, look, there may be times, I imagine, where parents will come to you with complaints. And then they'll come to you because you are a board member, and I mean, there's a process you probably have in place for handling complaints. The key is once you get a complaint to refer to the school administration, consistent with the board policy, and follow whatever that board policy may be. Look, it's critical that these decisions be approached with an unbiased manner, because this is where lawsuits take place, where people have made decisions in the public sector not based upon evidence before them, but rather based upon something else. And that's the type of things that get people in trouble. Making a decision, for example, at a student discipline hearing, based upon not because you heard what evidence you heard, you thought, well, the parents of Johnny are friends of mine, so I'm going to decide this way, or the parents of Johnny are enemies. We have to make the decision based on the information you have, not based upon any external fact. Now, again, if you make a request for information that you're beyond what you're entitled to as board members with your packages, in some ways you're in the same shoes as a member of the public in terms of information and in terms of making the process. There's, again, and you have the same exceptions. You're not entitled to it just because you're a board member, for example, a teacher's evaluations. Members of the public are not, you're not unless you're sitting in a termination. Now, I said all the bad things that can happen. Let me just give you a little bit of good. From time to time, as we know, will bring lawsuits. From time to time, I've had experiences where people would name the individual board members in the lawsuits. And you're thinking, oh, I volunteered for this job. For what reason? So I can get sued. Assuming you're acting in your official capacity and not being stepping outside of your job, or you're not acting in a wanton, malicious manner, you're covered. Basically, this thing called indemnification. The board has an insurance policy. They'll provide the cost of defense if you should get sued individually, and they'll also provide indemnifying you so you're not paying money out of your pockets. We appreciate the fact that you're volunteering your time. However, you should not be in a position where you're reaching into your bank accounts to serve on a board. Now, here's a couple hypotheticals that are based upon true stories. I want to just make sure you all are on the same page. Let's imagine there was a Region 21 Board of Education. We can use them as a hypothetical because there is none. And this is in our materials. Let's imagine that someone brings a complaint to a board member and says, well, my daughter's history teacher, God, he's awful. I mean, the parent complains about the teacher not challenging the students, not assigning any homework, making numerous misrepresentations. For example, I say, telling the students that Napoleon was the last Tsar of Russia, something like that, or appears disinterested in the class. Now, in my hypothetical, and this is based on a true story, the board member says to the parent, don't worry, I'll take care of it. So this board member then arrives near the school, hides beneath some shrubbery, both a half an hour before the start of the school day and a half an hour after, with a video camera, or to determine if the teacher is coming later, arriving later, leaving early. This board member then demands that the school principal allow him to personally observe the teacher in the classroom, demands that he see the entire personnel file of the teacher, wants to look at all the educational records of every student in the classroom, and then goes to the home of the teacher at dinner time and demands to speak with the student about his lousy performance and asks the teacher to take a drug test. You all think that this was a good course of action by this board member? This is actually based on a true story. And what I got a call for is because obviously there were employees complaining about this board member saying, we're getting harassed by this. Well, the attorney for, we'll call Region 21, and the board chair and superintendent of schools decided to, make sure the board member, these Lone Ranger-esque tactics were put to a stop, and we told the board member, look, if you continue to do this, you're not acting as a member of the board, acting by yourself. If you get sued, good luck, you're on your own. You're acting in a wanton, malicious manner, and you're not allowed to do this. This is not part of your job description to go into schools and to film students, film teachers or students. Now, the thing why we want you not to do this is because you may be on your own, but let's imagine the lawyer of the teacher who decides to bring a lawsuit. We may say you're on your own, but it won't stop the lawyer from suing the school district, because they'll say that there's some kind of inherent authority. We want to make sure the district doesn't get sued on these type of actions. And the area that gets people in a lot of trouble is the Freedom of Information Act. And that could be a whole day of discussion on that. And here's another true hypothetical. Let's imagine we had a situation where there was we'll call the chairman of the board Francis Albert Sinatra. And chairman of the board contacts every member of the Board of Education by telephone and by email to determine if they would agree to issue a press release endorsing a budget. The next day, okay, that's step number one. Step number two, the next day the board chair goes through his email account, starts deleting emails, the pesky emails from the spam, and decides to start deleting emails from other board members on various board matters. Is that up? First of all, in terms of the initial bones to work with, you call it that. The fine people at the Freedom of Information Commission of Harvard have found that these type of emails can need to be a meeting if you have a majority of the board members communicating amongst each other. That's one thing I often warn people is when there's communication between board members, sometimes you receive a notice from a board member. And by the way, stuff like scheduling, that's okay. If you get a notice from someone indicating scheduling the time and place, that's fine. It's okay to email back and say, I can't make it. That's fine. But we start just having these great discussions amongst the entire board, then you've got a problem where it could be found to be a meeting. And the commission, Freedom of Information Commission has found that to be a meeting. As far as the records, shot, email is viewed to be a public record. Any email you get regarding board business is a public record. I don't care if it gets to you in your board email account or it gets to you in your personal email account. I believe you have board email accounts. However, even if you've got an email in your personal email account concerning board business, someone can make an FOI request of it, and it's almost, there may be emails you get, for example, from the attorney. That may be privileged. There may be emails concerning a personnel matter, which happens to be highly personal, highly invasive in certain circumstances where it could be exceptional disclosure. However, when you write something down on an email, just imagine when you're doing it, how it would look on the front page of the Waterbury Republican or the Hartford Courant or any paper you want, or Voices. Keep that in mind. The emails, people use email now oftentimes to avoid phone calls. However, email is not a phone call. Email should be viewed as the equivalent of a letter. That's what it's viewed as. I think the term should be called electronic correspondence. That's what it really is. So keeping that in mind, the fact that there's a possibility that what you write will be subject to disclosure. When you write things down, consider what you want to do it, because you could be saying things you don't want to have said. Those are the general outlines. I also have as a gift, so to speak. This is the last edition of my book on the FOIA. I'm trying to get rid of these. I'm writing a new edition now, so I'm getting rid of the old edition. The extra copies you want. Just scribble a line, keep my autograph so messy. On the broad issues of the FOIA. We could speak about this all night if we had to, but the main things are remembering that most, there are exceptions. For example, when you do collective bargaining, you're not. It's deemed to be a non-meeting. There are meetings under the law which are not meetings. Why they call them non-meetings is a good question, because it confuses people when you say we're meeting at a non-meeting. But there are examples under the law which are permitted to do that. Oftentimes when you're a personnel search committee, or when you're doing collective bargaining, for example, a chance social gathering. One little bit of advice: if you have a chance, quote-unquote, chance social gathering, and there's at least a quorum there, and you start discussing board business, you may have inadvertently found your way into a board meeting. And in fact, there's some question over whether you need to have a quorum. There's some debate whether you can somehow getting involved in it. So please please understand, this is the place to have the board deliberations and discussions, not any place by agreement. And executive sessions, we've listed here things whether acceptable, when not acceptable. And also the most important thing is you folks have a very detailed agenda, which is important. So the public has a right to know the business that the board is doing. Your agenda does meet the exception. Used to be something that would say old business, new business. That'd be your only agenda. That's not something we're looking for under the FOIA. And personnel matters, unfortunately, the idea now is that public employees are viewed to be, for the most part, let's put it this way, you're viewed to be in the line of fire. It used to be that most things, records concerning personnel matters could be simply, kept away. It's a personnel matter, you can't see these records. Most things in a personnel file are now public record. I mean, there are exceptions, for example, teacher evaluations. There may be, truly personal stuff in there about a health condition. There may be stuff like your social security number, W-2 information, but most of the stuff in there is public. And we have to expect that to be the case. And most importantly, when it's a public record, it's a document. You can't destroy it. I say in these materials, there are actually criminal penalties for destroying a public record. We don't want anyone going to jail. You want to have probably an organized system where you can't have the entire body be able to save every single email, but a general rule is the person who sends it should at least maintain it, or at least maintain a copy in some form. Do you have, in terms of your district email, I imagine you deleted it, naturally deleted, so we have to say that's important. But a lot of things, this is what gets people in trouble the most. And I'll say this, for all honesty, I shouldn't be saying this, but it's impossible not to violate one of the FOIA in some manner or respect. Because the law, it's interpreted by people. There are hearing officers who decide things different ways. I once did a test. I called 2 people at the FOIC about whether or not I wanted to do this. And actually, one of our Republicans joined me in this. We called 2 members and said, look, is this a meeting executive session or not? They gave completely different answers. So when there was a complaint brought against the district, I said, you shouldn't fine us because you yourself disagree on this matter. The thing is to act in good faith. If you act in good faith, you'll be in good shape. And also correcting things. There is, fortunately, Robert's Rules of Order allows you to reconsider things. If something's done improperly, there are mechanisms to correct, assuming, timelines permitting. So don't get too worried about this. However, please be aware of not having the public be shut out of those public things. Are there any questions? Sorry for throwing you on so much.
What would be some typical topics for the reason to go into executive session?
For example, the weird part is a personnel record itself is public, but a discussion concerning a personnel matter can be an executive session. Why that is, I don't know. I don't write the laws. I just tell you what they are. That's a common one to go into executive session. Security issues, they're coming more and more now in light of too many tragedies. However, it has to be something where there is truly a situation where there is a security issue. Attorney-client privilege communications. Now, the thing is, or lawsuits, litigation, those type of things are the ones that come up the most. Or where there truly is information, for example, as part of the NRFP process, making sure that you don't have, if there's information, until the bid's awarded, there is some expectation of your privacy. Those are the most common ones that I would see in there. Going once. Going twice. I just want to congratulate the new members of the Board of Education for coming here.
Real quick summary on what's expected for reporting meeting minutes, whether let's say out of subcommittee.
Yeah, there have to be minutes. However, people make this mistake. What the minutes must reflect. the requirement is not to create a transcript. I mean, there's one board where they made this, but their minutes are like 50 pages long, and they break down everything anyone ever said. You're not required to do that. You're required to give, first of all, you want to make sure you capture all the votes accurately. You know, and that's something that's required by law, that you know, A, what the motions were, what seconded, who voted for what, why. You want to give some general idea what the discussion was, if there were key points made. You don't have to say, okay, well, Janet said at 8:52, X, no, but Marianne said at 8:53, Y. Then George said, Marianne and Janet, why did you say that? You don't have to go into that type of, you know, description, but you have to keep minutes. And this is one thing that's important for subcommittees, is subcommittees are covered by the FOIA. You have to have your meetings noticed, you have to have agendas, it's consistent with the law, and you must keep minutes. And there have been some places where they've not, and it's been a problem. Now, I see on your website, you keep meticulous minutes for all your committees, which I congratulate you for. Any other questions?
Mark, while you're here, could you just speak briefly?
I'm going home now.
You didn't expect a question from me. Just speak briefly just regarding the Mount West High School building project and where the board is for that.
Yeah, there's been a press release issued. I'll just tell you, we had a meeting on Friday with the first selectman of the towns, Jody Lane, attorney for the district, myself, full disclosure, and the two town attorneys. And I think it was a frank and cordial discussion, and we're trying to work together on this. We appreciate that there is some concern out there about the project, about the referendum specifically. And as a result, all the parties are working together on this. We've decided the best course of action is for them all to join together and then bring to the court. We'll call it a friendly action. It's called a declaratory judgment action, for the court to indicate, make a ruling as to the issue of the notice, whether the notice complied with the law, and also, regardless of whether it complied with the law, whether the election results would still stand, regardless. We're going to act as soon as possible to do this. We're going to act cordially together, and hopefully in a way that minimizes all reasonable costs. Our hope is to get this decided within 6 to 8 weeks. That's just in terms of understanding courts don't work as quickly as we want them to. I think a 6 to 8 week gap is probably what we have time here to determine that question. So I think we're moving in the right direction. So everyone, we appreciate both sides' concerns, and that was really appreciated about the meeting on Friday. I think those were there, that all sides, the towns and the district, want to work together to make sure there's no uncertainty on this issue. No further questions? Keep it away.
It sounds like hotcakes.
Here, I want to get rid of these as much as possible.
So thank you very much, Mark, for being here tonight.
Hope I didn't scare you. That wasn't my goal to scare you, just to hopefully, the highest form of knowledge of knowing what you don't know. And hopefully this helps you realize what are the areas to look for.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you for having us.
The third item on our agenda is the election of board chair.